2v8 is the only game mode in Dead by Daylight with the power to completely mess up queue times. You can expect everything between 10 and 25 minutes of waiting for a killer match, and it doesn't get much better if you go, nah, I'm good, and choose normal 1v4 instead, with over 5 minutes queue times even at night. Killer players are trying to find any kind of side hustle to fill this time, from doing chores around the house to playing survivor matches on Switch, and it has been particularly harsh on streamers that have to fill the time with something different from the game everyone is watching them for, risking to lose viewers and revenues over it. It's easy to find the culprit for this, but hard to blame them. Everyone wants to play killer with their friends, and even if you're queuing solo, playing killer in a team is the actual novelty of this mode, and everyone wants to make the most out of it while it's out. It's not like this game is a surprise either. During the first iteration of 2v8, Q bonus was a hopping 400% on Survivor at any given time, and despite the changes made to the second iteration, its clear behavior did not expect this to change at all. The current 2v8 tome has in fact no killer exclusive challenge, while it has a number of Survivor exclusive challenges, which did nothing anyway to mitigate queue times. Despite all this, Q bonus was nonsensically tweaked down from the 400% we had to the current 250%, equivalent to just 2 Bloody Party streamers and 2 envelopes. This makes it so playing Survivor in normal 1v4 can easily give you more BPs, since everyone can bring party streamers, giving a 500% bonus to start with, plus the Q bonus, which, needless to say, is constantly on Survivor when 2v8 is out. I want to give credit where credit is due. Behavior did a lot to improve the Survivor experience in this second edition of 2v8, really listening to the community feedback. They made it impossible to slug if not for very brief periods of time. Camping cages is out of the question, and even tunneling is heavily discouraged by the regular aura reveal of survivors that have not been hooked yet, and cages spawn very far away from bot killers. Flashlights and pallet saves have been reintroduced, making it surely more interesting and rewarding for Survivor, even if having to pick up hinders the killer's momentum a little. Maps have even more safety overall, with way more god fillers, often interconnecting with each other, lots of jungle gyms, and nightmare spawns on main buildings. And overall, classes have been given more interesting powers, with survivors undisputedly coming out on top with abilities like rebuilding pallets, insta-completing gens, and not one but multiple insta-heals in chase. But to be fair, as killer, I will let survivors bother and floor me if that means shorter queue times, so I don't really mind any of this. Despite making survivors unarguably overpowered, classes still don't have enough variety to keep the role entertaining, and just escaping gets very old very soon. While the individual killer powers can be combined with the 4 classes available and with the ones your teammate picked, all survivors have is their 4 classes, and once you try them all a couple of times, that's it, and the gameplay becomes bland quickly. And yes, there are also some issues for killer. For example, slow killers like Trapper and Deathslinger can feel quite bad to play in this hyper-dynamic chase environment, where you have to constantly switch target for someone that is out of position and cannot really commit to any chase. And you definitely don't want to pair them if you care for your sanity. But that one already went out of the window the second queue times hit 5 minutes. So I hope you forgive me if I don't focus on killer issues too much in this video. There is no outmatching the novelty of playing killer with friends, of course, but I truly believe not all is lost, and there is still a number of things that can be done to shorten killer queue time significantly and make 2v8 more interesting for Survivor. First of all, matchmaking changes. Matchmaking in 2v8 works normally, meaning that the game will try to pair you with players in your MMR bracket first and then expand the pool the more you wait. But with queue times this long, everyone will end up paired with everyone anyway, so it could be worth it to remove MMR completely from this mode. This will shave off the initial part of the matchmaking search, in which in the first 2 or 3 minutes of waiting, survivors out of your MMR would be skipped in favor of a more accurate match. Players would be lured to play Survivor if this means gaining some nice rewards, While not everyone is after blood points, a lot of people are still grinding, and a higher blood point bonus on the least played side would surely be attractive to them. Even veteran players who already have everything unlocked may be going after a P100 and would be more inclined to play Survivor if the blood point bonus is really mouth-watering. And I mean something between the 700–1000%, just to surely outclass the gain you can get from a normal queue, even if you play in a full wave with 4 guaranteed party streamers. And please make us able to spend blood points on non-2v8 characters, so the queues won't be hindered by people having to leave to spend their points and avoid hitting the cap. But of course, not everyone is after blood points, but everyone is after shards. I'd suggest something like 50 shards per Survivor match played, since behavior is known to be quite stingy on them. I guarantee this would revolution queue times. If behavior is unwilling to give shards, which I expect, the next best thing would be unlockable cosmetics, such as outfit pieces or banners, every 10 Survivor matches played. Fear of missing out is a powerful tool, and for once, it would be used for good. Now, 2v8 Survivor is so strong that there is no way to make this 2016 Light Clown Fiesta any more Survivor-sided. But what the role still lacks is variety and the fun it brings. The abilities survivors have in 2v8 are inspired by pre-existing perks. Healing faster is based on botany knowledge, losing scratch marks is based on lucky break, vaulting silently is based on quick and quiet, and rebuilding or pulling up again a pallet is based on any means necessary. And I'd argue all these are pretty fun, but normal DBD has way more of those, easily keeping the game fresh with thousands of possible combinations that for classes can never, well, outclass. There's still a ton of fun perks left out that could be of inspiration for 2v8 powers. For example, I'd love to see a Jester class with something akin to Blast Mine and Bardic Inspiration, a Locker Goblin class with Deception and Add-on, a Rat class with like Fuda, Diversion and Flashbang, and the Lightbringer class with Champion of Light and the Residual Manifest. And these are just the ones from the top of my head. We need a lot more classes for Survivor to enhance the role longevity, providing a lot to explore and combine, multiplying the interaction with your teammates' abilities. This could also be a golden chance to power creep perks that are currently useless, like Red Herring, making them stronger and implementing them into a class to see how they perform in preparation of a rework. Last but not least, as a quick fix that would dramatically reduce queue times instantly, we have bots. It could be worth it to put 1 or 2 Survivor bots by default in every match. Of course, not disclosing their bots and giving them random cosmetics to make them blend in even better, just to fill the slots quicker. I assure you, you're not gonna notice any difference between a bot and the actual 20 hours player that you were gonna get anyway, no matter which role you're playing. But these are just my idea that I came up with while waiting in queue for 2v8 Killer. I'm curious about what you think about them, and of course, I want to know if you have any other solution.